Decisions. We make decisions all the time, and some of them are easy and others not so much. Today, we're going to talk about the latter, those decisions that aren't so easily made. And, why are they so hard to make? Well, we crave certainty, we want perfection, maybe we're fearful of the risk, yet we know intellectually that certainty doesn't exist, risk is required, and perfection is a myth. Yet we still have trouble making those decisions. Hey, if you're new here, my name is Heather Patterson. I'm a business and mindset coach, and I help entrepreneurs use the power of their minds to get the results that they truly want in their life and business. So we're going to talk about thieves of time. We've been talking about thieves of time if you've been following along. I've identified 7 of them, and decision, or rather indecision, is one of them. So I'll share a story with you, give you a little bit of a lesson, and then share some tools and strategies for you to overcome this thief of time. Because chances are it's robbing you of your time as well. So my story. All right. So back in 2021, I was working for someone, in a role that ultimately we decided was just not a good fit for both of us. We came to that mutual conclusion together. And the truth is, I wasn't performing to the standard that was necessary. Whoop, I got a little fly. And I was really unhappy. I knew that my talents as a coach and consultant could be used in a greater and bigger way. And it just wasn't a fit. So we made a plan. We parted gracefully. That can happen. Yet I still found myself with some decisions to make. I needed to either find employment somewhere else, or maybe I could go into business for myself. Again, what you may or may not know is that I used to have a coaching and consulting business, and it was successful for a while, but ultimately I chose to close the doors. I wasn't able to keep it off the ground at that time in my life. So here I am, faced with this decision. Could I do it again? Could I do it again and be even more successful? What if I fell on my face? I wasn't really prepared. I hadn't been preparing financially to go out on my own. I didn't have a program or a course to sell. And in my old life, I was sort of known as a HR consultant. I had a whole new identity to bring to the world. And so to me, the risk was huge. Yet I also saw the opportunity, and it was grand. It was big. And I wavered and waffled, right? I signed up for the job boards and was applying, but that was half-hearted at best. Honestly, I didn't even get a call back. What I really wanted, and I think the universe knew this, what I really wanted was I wanted to have my own business. That's what I wanted deep down in my heart. That's what made me most excited, most energized, most enthusiastic. And so, I really had to pay attention to that. And I thought, you know what? It's happening. It's happening. I have to unsubscribe from these job boards, take my name off these lists. I'm not sending the right message out to the universe. I declared my decision to my closest, most trusted family and friends. And I took some immediate inspired action, filing my LLC for my business. I did that right away. And I'm like, okay, what's next? Some more decisions, right? So I knew from past experience that I could grow my business through referrals, right? Through people that already knew and liked and trusted me, had an experience of me in being helpful as a coach and consultant. So I went around and contacted my network. I shared my new venture with them and asked, hey, who do you know that I should know? Right? And to make a long story short, or shorter, what happened is that I ended up forging a relationship with a business owner who had a team of salespeople. And after our conversations, he invited me to join the team as their business coach indefinitely. I was like, oh my gosh, wow, yes, this is an amazing opportunity. I can coach and consult and use my skills and talents and have my own business. To this day, I still work with that business owner and the team. And it's been a blessing to me, and I know a blessing to them as well. So then another decision, right? I had a course to create, and I thought, man, I don't want to create a course. This is too daunting. I honestly didn't feel all that credible at the time with the whole new identity thing. And so I said, okay, well, how can I do this? Who do I respect and know, and whose work could I maybe represent? And that's where the Proctor Gallagher Institute comes in. So I called someone from the organization and I got some information and understood kind of what it meant to be a certified consultant with the Proctor Gallagher Institute. And I had to make a decision, and a big one, right? A big financial investment for me at the time, right? All things are relative. But I said yes. I said, okay, I'm going to do it. It's happening. I'm going to align myself with this organization such that I have a great program that's time tested to deliver to my clients. And that's where Thinking into Results comes from. That's my main course, my main program, right? In just a few months, I created and launched and filled my first group coaching cohort. So all in all, in about 6 months from that decision of separating from the employer till, about 6 months later, I replaced my salary from my employer. And I say that to you, not to impress you, but really to impress upon you, it took decision. Like when I was teetering and tottering and just sort of going in between all the different options, nothing was happening. There was just a little time ticking. My indecision was costing me time. And it was costing me worry and doubt and fear and analyzing and, all of the mental turmoil that can happen when we are being indecisive. When I made the decision to follow my heart, to follow what I really wanted, boom, something clicked. My enthusiasm was ignited, and I began to get into creation mode. And that's where the calls and emails and introductions and, really honing my skills as a coach and consultant and salesperson really started to happen. But nothing happened without the decision first. That's crucial that you know and understand. All right, so that's my story. So let's get into the actual sort of meat and potatoes of the lesson here today, right? So decisions are going to make or break you, right? They're going to make or break you in your business and in your life. Now, we're talking about time here, and indecision will certainly send you on a spiral and begin to waste your time if you are indecisive, okay? But also, decisions will influence your income. They're going to influence your relationships. They're going to influence your emotional state. Remember I said the emotional turmoil that was happening, and even your physical health. So it's going to behoove you to become a strong decision maker. And what happens is when you make a decision, you create order. You create order in your mind. And you have to remember, the universe is an orderly universe. It responds to order. And when you make a decision, you will be rewarded accordingly, right? When you don't make a decision, there is chaos and conflict. And what's happening internally will naturally manifest externally. Chaos and conflict will be the result. Now, like I mentioned earlier, we fail to make decisions for a number of reasons. We crave certainty, we insist on perfection, we're afraid of the risk or even failure like I was. We doubt ourselves, we worry about what other people will think of us, you name it. Maybe there's something for you that you want to leave in the comments. What is it? Right? The problem is we're taught, right? We're brought up in our environments to do all of those things, to worry, to doubt, to be concerned what other people think of us. And a lot of times that's our internal programming, our paradigms. Now, that's what's done is done to some extent, right? We can't go back and change the things that influenced our thinking. But what we can do is decide, I'm going to adopt a new way of thinking. I'm going to do it another way because this way isn't working anymore. I'm tired of the chaos. I'm tired of, all of the indecision in my life. I'm going to be a decisive person. That's what's possible, right? So, and what you have to do is you have to begin to make decisions. And you can start small and begin and just begin and decide and decide. See, decision making begets decision making. When you practice decision making, you will become a stronger and better and more effective decision maker. So start where you are, right? With whatever you've got. Now, Ralph Waldo Emerson, he said, and this is where the universal laws come into play. He said, once a decision is made, the universe will conspire to make it happen. So here's the deal. No decision, no conspiring, right? It's that simple. And I can tell you that was the case for me, right? That was the case for me. When I made the decision, if you think back to my story, then you can tell that, well, the introductions were made, the opportunity for a program was, available, and on and on and on, and everything started to conspire in my favor. I didn't have it all figured out. That would be impossible, right? But that's the problem. See, most people are so concerned with their environments and their current circumstances that they use things like finances, education, support, all of the other resources that they know that they need to stop them, right? And instead, what successful people do, what great decision makers do, is they say, circumstances are what they are. And this is what I want, and I'm going to move forward into making it happen. They let the current circumstances fall away. So let's get into a couple of tools, right? Now that you understand the importance of decision making, what could you do? First and foremost, I want to caution you to decide with care. Like, really. So we know that all of the great teachers and thinkers out there, they all agree on one thing. They say, and I believe this to be true, and I believe you will too, we become what we think about all day long. So when you decide that you're going to have a good day, you will. When you decide that, my commute's going to be awful, or this conversation will be tough, or, I'm going to have a great experience, then you will. It will be so. You actually create your environment, right? And your results. And so be mindful of what you are deciding about your every move and how it's going to go. Just start paying attention to that. Be truly mindful, and only you're going to know in your heart of hearts what you've decided. I hope that you will make a decision that is in your favor, that the universe can respond to in a way that moves you towards your goal versus in another direction, right? Now, secondly, I want you to practice visualizing. As my mentor, Bob Proctor, has said, he's known for saying this, if you can see it in your mind, you can hold it in your hand. So what is it that you want? What did you decide? And then form the picture in your mind. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Get emotionally involved with that outcome, with that idea, right? And what does moving towards the decision look like, towards the goal look like? See yourself in motion, making it happen, right? And hold on to that vision. You may refer to it every morning when you wake up and during the wee hours before you close your eyes on the pillow. And also throughout the day, when you feel that worry, doubt, and fear begin to creep in, boom, bring it to mind. Hold that vision in your mind as often as much as possible, okay? And then finally, you gotta take some action, right? Like I said, the universe operates by law in an orderly way. And one of those is the action-reaction. So when you take action, the universe, as Ralph Aldo Emerson, has said, the universe will conspire, but it requires you to make a decision and act. Let the universe know, right? Just like I did with filing the LLC and having those communications, those asking for those introductions and referrals. You've got to go and take the action. So what is it for you? What activity could you begin to take today that is in alignment with the decision that you've made? Go and do that. And then do it again. And then what's next? And then what's next? And just begin to watch how the universe begins to conspire in your favor. All right, that wraps the lesson today. I hope you found it to be useful and valuable. It certainly was a pleasure sharing it with you. Thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment. I'd love to know your takeaways or what questions you might have. I'll be monitoring those and will be very happy and excited to reply to you. Like I mentioned, this lesson is just one lesson of many. There are 7 thieves of time. We've talked about 1, decision, or rather indecision. And what you're going to notice if you've been following along is that there are layers and there's overlap. And so if you want to dig in a little further, go ahead and follow along in this playlist on the 7 thieves of time. Or what you could do is go to, I'll leave the link in the description. Go and download the guide. I have a free guide for you. It's called The 7 Thieves of Time and What You Can Do to Overcome Them. Go and download that, dig in a bit further, and begin to take your time back. All right, thank you so much, and I'll see you next time.